Hey folks, it's Lindsay Ellis with SPS back in the building over at Veg Head, a downtown Lansing plant-based restaurant. We just had a great time, a great meal. It's the SPSEdge show featuring Ethan Boyd, the greatest intern this side of the Mississippi, representing Michigan State football, and he's done a great job and brought in a young man that many know and many will get to know. Talking about the new quarterback from Michigan State, Aidan Chiles. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Welcome. Glad you were able to make it over. But this is Ethan's show right now. Ethan, I'll let you take us off. Thank you for getting Aidan here, and you want to get us started?
Yeah, I got the first question for us, and the question I had was, what are some things you learned this year or this past season playing as a true freshman?
Patience, really. At the end of the day, it was easy because I was behind DJ and I was learning. But just be patient and know that your time is coming.
I got you.
Yeah. Can I stay with that for a second?
Yeah.
Talk about that transition from being a high school athlete on the West Coast, representing the Long Beach area, and all of a sudden being thrust into a great, conference like the Pac-12. Talk about that transition from high school senior to college freshman, like Ethan was saying.
In the beginning, I felt like it was pretty easy because,
Now people gonna look at you like, what?
Yeah. But we were getting eased into we really were preparing for. So I would say when we really got into fall camp and the season and everything, that's when stuff started really hitting. And you
that
was
preparation.
And that's why I'm glad I early enrolled, because if I didn't early enroll, I probably wouldn't have been playing as much as I was playing my freshman year.
The guys, Knuckleheads, they got a podcast and they talk about, for the NBA, they talk about when somebody introduced them to the NBA. What was your college introduction moment? Was it a hit? Was it some type of experience where you're like, oh, I'm in college now?
Well, first of all, it was the Utah game when I played my first third drive, but that's one of them. It's really two incidents, right? Because the Utah game, I was kind of nervous. It was my first drive out there, and I thought I was doing all right, but I got tackled one arm by DN. I don't even remember his name. But the second time was UW, Braylon Trice. I was just standing there. He just full speed, straight ahead. I couldn't move. Got stuck. Looked like a deer in headlights.
Man,
got rocked.
Man, you learned from that. You remember that?
Yeah, man.
That's great. I appreciate that. Ethan, what you got?
Yeah. The next question is who are some NFL quarterbacks today that you like to watch or model your game after?
Well, so I like C.J. Stroud. I've always liked C.J. Stroud. Like Jalen. I like a lot of black quarterbacks, like Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields.
What is it about them?
I feel like I represent their game like they represent mine. I don't know. It's different. So it's I'm not big like Jalen, but I feel like I can do some of the things he does. I'm not gonna say I am these players, but I feel like I have attributes that these players have, and I can just implement that into my game. I watched a lot of Lamar with coaches now, and I don't think I play like Lamar at all. I think we're two different quarterbacks, but I just like seeing how he controls his offense and does what he does. But if I had to compare it to one person, it'd be either Jalen or C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. Wow, I like that. What else you got, Ethan?
The next question I had is, so far in East Lansing, with the short period of time, what's been your favorite experience so far?
Just getting to know my teammates, for sure. Yeah. It's been fun, just learning new names, learning new people, talking to new people, learning new experiences, and getting to know what they went through before the change happened and everything. But yeah, I got you.
You talk about your new teammates. That was a great question, Ethan. I just realized you may be the only person in the state of Michigan that can give us more insight on the new coach, Jonathan Smith, than anybody else, because you played for him.
Yeah.
Give us a little insight about him, his personality, or just some things that we're probably going to come to expect once we get more time to be around him.
Well, one thing that I learned real fast is that he doesn't yell. He's a good guy. He's
not a yeller.
Nah.
You like non-yellers?
Depends. My high school coach was he yelled, and I was fine with it. It's awkward for me at times because when you mess up, you expect it, but then he's just there just to talk you through things. But he doesn't yell. He's a genuine guy. He'll talk to you as a person, not a player, and he's real laid back when you really get to know him. that's one of the reasons why I followed him here, is because you know, his personality and who he is as a coach and as a person.
Yeah. I'm going to put my sports psychology hat on. That's the underlying theme of what we're doing. That's part of Ethan's internship. When you talk about this yelling piece, do you think that from a generational standpoint that may work well with this generation? Because I remember a player, and one time when I was doing my sports psychology internship, shout out to Coach Bogan at Sexton, and we were walking down the line, and I remember him saying, Coach Huddleston, I appreciate you, man, because you never yell. Do you think that can really have an impact on a certain generation, this generation of athletes?
It can, depending on who you are as a player and who you want to be in the future, you know?
Oh,
so
talk about that.
My thing was, I had coaches that yelled all the time, and then it had no meaning, and I had coaches that yelled at certain times, and they're trying to get their point across, so you understand where they're coming from. But
so that yelling would be like, you'd probably be too young for the Charlie Brown story. The teacher on Charlie Brown would always talk like womp 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 womp. So the yelling didn't mean nothing. You said after a while.
Yeah. So like Downey, I had a coach that just yell, but after a while it was like, okay, like when is he gonna stop? Like, you know, because like at the end of the day, you hear what he's saying, but if he's just gonna yell at you, you don't want to listen to it, you know.
Ethan, this is your teammate. I want to get your perspective on the yeller and the non-yeller coaches and the impact that can have. What do you think?
You know, I think yelling can be very helpful, but I feel like you have to have a relationship with the coach before they can get on you like that. That's just my opinion on it.
No, I think that's fair. That's fair. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I never looked at it that way for sure, but yeah, the relationship definitely plays a big role.
Plays a big role. Yeah. Okay, all right. I appreciate that. All right, Ethan, you continue to do well.
And then going back to your time at Oregon State, what was your and DJ's relationship like?
I thought it was good. It was really a mentor-student type relationship, you know, because he's senior, freshman coming in. You know, like I shouldn't have been in the position I was playing as much as I was, but I feel like he handled that really good for who he, like how big his name is, you know. And usually
when we're saying DJ, we're saying DJ who?
DJ U.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So like with the name he has, like the attention he brings to the team, like you wouldn't expect a person with that big of a status to like just be like okay with this freshman coming in and playing every third drive and taking his time, you know. But I feel like he really helped me a lot, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to play with him and grateful that I got the chance to play and then learn from my mistakes while also learning from what he did.
Exactly.
And I think it really helped me in the long run for sure.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Can I stay with that for a second, Ethan? Talk about managing being under the lights. Ethan has that role as a lineman, but you as a quarterback, when there's a little bit more of a, let's just face it, the central focus. What is it like when the audience, the fans' response can be directed totally towards you based on a good play or a bad play? What is that like when you feel it and you know it's about you?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I know I messed up if I mess up, and I know I did something good if I did something good. Fans don't have to tell me that. And really, when I'm playing out there, I don't really hear fans like that. I don't hear a lot of things.
Kind of block it out.
Yeah. But overall, like, you hear reactions and stuff like that. But like during the play, like when you're focused on what you really need to be focused on, you don't really hear the things you need to hear like outside of the football stadium.
Yeah.
So,
Ethan, I remember when we first talked a few weeks ago, just you and I, you talked about resetting and being able to get back. What are some things that you do, Aidan, that kind of help you reset? You talked about if the play didn't go well, or to not get too high on yourself because of a good play. How do you kind of bring things back?
I really don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever had that thing. Like, there's been moments where I've gotten too high, like after a good play, you know, like coming back doing something real good. But when I'm down, it's really just being able to make sure that your teammates trust you. Because at the end of the day, you're the quarterback. Like, I'm the quarterback at the end of the day. So if I'm gonna mess up, I gotta be able to gain the trust of my teammates or regain the trust of my teammates and let them know that I can go back out there and do better the next time.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word right now, but do better the next time, you know.
Ethan, I got one more for him. Pressure. How do you define that? Is that really applicable to your role? Because some people may consider the role as a QB1 pressure, or do you not look at it like that?
Sometimes I look at it like that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel the pressure like my freshman years, for example, I felt pressure as if I was already the starter. That's why I went in and I was like so like down when I was in fall camp, because I felt like it was my job to lose, and I was putting so much pressure on myself to keep this job that I didn't have already. So that's what I
Hold
saw.
on, I want to repeat that. You put pressure on yourself to keep a job that you didn't even have already.
Yep. So
That you had the wrong outlook on that then.
Exactly. So when I got out of that outlook, like I talked to Coach Smith, and he's like, let's go hunt. That's our thing. Like, go hunt to get the starting job. Go hunt to go win the games. You know. So like right now, my pressure is like I talk to my parents about it all the time. Like Spartan fans don't even know if I'm a good football player or not. I played one drive a game, and like it's a lot of them saying like, oh, we're so happy you're here. We're so happy this. We're so happy that. But y'all haven't seen me play.
Man, you don't even know what you got yet.
So like, but I mean, they see me play, but they don't know what I can do. So you can say that's pressure, but at the same time, it's also just them having confidence in you. But I don't see it as pressure. I see it as just me having to prove somebody right.
Yeah. And if I can add something, I want to go back to Ethan. Again, putting my sports psychology hat on. One thing I always talk about, your purpose is on the other side of the pressure. You talk about playing a little bit of basketball, the 6'4". I always say if you had to hit 2 free throws to win the state championship or a national championship or NBA championship, people say that's a lot of pressure. But again, your purpose is on the other side of it. So you taking on the role as being the leader for the team, being the person you are, it seems that you have a very healthy relationship with pressure. And I'll just put that out there if it ever comes up again. Just remember, your purpose is on the other side of it if it ever comes down to being one of those situations. Ethan, you've been doing great with the questions, man. You got any more for us?
Yes, sir. The last question I had was, who was your biggest role model growing up?
Well, it's like kind of cliche, but everybody says it like they dad, you know. Most people say it they dad, but over time it just ended up being my parents in general.
Say
so
both their names.
Adrian and Nicole.
Yep.
So yeah. But my parents, so my dad, I mean, he played football. He introduced me to football. Basically, like I was playing football because that's what my family did, you know. But my mom, she's a breast cancer survivor. So like after that, really, not even, well, before that, she was also like, she was always my mom, you know. I got you. But after that, it really just taught me like she's a fighter and she's a great person at the end of the day, you know, because at the end of the day, it's still my mom. You feel me? So, but yeah. So at the end of the day, it's my parents who are my role models. I got you.
Is it too early to say how are you doing, or how do you think you'll do with that distance between? You know, it's one thing to go north to Oregon from California, but you know, a little bit of distance between California and Michigan. How do you think you'll do with that?
Well, in Oregon, I didn't get too homesick. I mean, I don't know if it wasn't because it was far. If it was because it wasn't so far, but I didn't really get too homesick. Right now, I think I'll be fine. My parents, my mom wants to fly out every weekend. My mom wants to come see me.
Can't say no to that.
Yeah, my dad's chill. You know, he just wants to come see the football games.
He said, "I'll be at the games."
Yeah, exactly. And my brother's cool, so I don't think it'll be that much of a transition. The hardest thing is to further the flight, like a 4-hour flight compared to an hour and a half flight. Right. So that's the biggest thing. But overall, I think it'll be fine.
You got a little friend keeping you company now, Aura, right?
Man, yeah, I got a little dog for sure. Yes,
what kind of dog is Aura?
I think she's a pit bull.
Think she's a pit bull?
She look like a pit bull. Like if you look at it, she look like a pit bull.
Okay. Shout out to Aura and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, man, you're doing a great job. You've done all the right things. You shouted out your folks and whatnot. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I think when I met you at the game, shout out to Jay Green. He's here in the building, and he pointed you out. You offered me some Skittles, man. I think that was nice of you, man. That said a lot about your personality and all that. Ethan, you've been doing a great job in singing your praises publicly, but I say it on this platform. I think you're doing a great job, and I want us to continue to take advantage of great guests like Aidan, but also really explore even more. You're doing great. You got anything you want to say before you wrap up, and we let Aidan get some final words too?
I'm all set for now.
You good? Well, job well done. Hey, you want to wrap up? You got anything you want us to share with, especially with the Spartan fan base?
Just thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for welcoming me into East Lansing, you know, so appreciate it.
Okay, job well done. Well, we're having a good time over here at Veg Head, a downtown Lansing plant-based restaurant. I think we're all full, holding our bellies, man. We had some good food. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Carrie. Hey, we want to say shout out to you guys. And again, this is Lindsey Hudson with SPS on the SPS Edge Show featuring Ethan Boyd. And we'll see you next time. Peace.